Hello. Can everybody please confirm whether you can listen my voice? Good evening, Satya. Good evening, Amarjeet. Can you also confirm that you can see my screen also? Good evening, Amarjeet. Okay, so let's start. So the topic of today is advanced candlestick pattern. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna refresh our concepts, what we have seen in our course, and then we go on to the advanced stuff, and I'll also show you some of the extra things which we can do, right? So I'll just again go and simply today we're gonna see candlestick patterns. Remember one thing, candlesticks, all these patterns are very much significant once they are in any particular zone, right? So let's go and refresh our things what we have learned during our course. So what this is, everybody knows that when the close it's more than the open, then it's a green candle, and when the close is less than the open price, it's the red candle, right? So that's how you differentiate between green and the red candlesticks. As we know, there are 137 patterns, but we are actually just concentrating on our main 6 patterns. What are those? First is dozy. In dozy, what is dozy? It's basically indecision, where the buyers and sellers have the equal force. Means it the price could go to any point, whether up or down. So it's a reversal pattern. And as per the shape, you have sometimes long legged dozy. When you have large wicks, you have dragonfly dozy, where the indecision is actually on the top. You have gravestone dozy, where actually the indecision is at the bottom. And four price dozy means there are no wicks. The open and the close price are more or less the same. So you see, dozy are the reversal patterns. Then you have this morning and evening star. This is your evening star pattern. What is the condition? That the star will form along the direction of the trend with a gap up, but with a different color, or maybe also of the same color. But the next day opening is actually against the main trend and a gap down. So you have a gap up, and then on the third day you have a gap down if you consider this as a daily candle. So this is your evening star. This is also your reversal pattern. Similarly, on the morning star side, the trend is going down. It has a gap up, gap down, and then you have a green color candle. But the next day, the onwards or the third day, you have against the trend gap up opening along with the other directions color. So this is your morning star. Accordingly, you also have the bullish and the bearish hammer. So what is this? The trend is going down, then at the end you have this hammer shape formation, and you know where to go long and where could be your stop loss. Similarly, you have this bearish hammer. The trend was going up, then you have your hammer, and from there the trend has been reversed. The conditions for the hammer formation, it's just more or less the thickness of that particular hammer should be less than 3 times of its wick, so it has a kind of shape of hammer. right? Spinning tops, these are the continuation pattern. So bullish spinning top where you have close more than the open, and similarly you have bearish spinning top where the close is less than the open. So what happens actually, the bulls actually which are trying to push the price up, but they don't manage to hold a significant high, and also the bears who tried to push the price down but they didn't manage to hold a significant low. So more or less these are the continuation pattern. Then you have this bullish and bearish harami pattern. So the condition for those is the next day open is actually a gap down in case of bearish harami, and the close is less than the open price. Similarly, for the bullish harami pattern, you should have a gap up opening and the close is more than the open price. And these are also the reversal or the continuation pattern depending upon their shape and where they actually originates. Similarly, you have this bullish and bearish engulf where certain color candle, whether it's green or red, actually engulfs the previous day candle. So here the condition is that the body of the previous day candle should be submerged beneath the body of the next day candle. Like in this case, you have a downtrend, then you have another candle on the second day in which the body of the previous day candle is actually fully submerged into that candle. So this is bullish engulfing pattern. Similarly, on the bearish engulfing side, the trend was going up. Then you have a candle which is red in color and also encompasses the previous day candle within its body. So this is your bearish engulf. So this is a quick representation of repeat of our the candlesticks which we have learned so far, right? So let's go and have a look onto our documents first. So what kind of uh, now the question? Tell me what are single candle patterns? Tell me in the chat box what are the single candle pattern. Right? Fast, guys. What are the single candle pattern? Where you actually just see a single candle, which is dozy, right? Satya, and like dozy, dragonfly, hammer, spinning top. These are single. No, not evening star. Evening star is a three candle pattern. I am talking about single candle pattern, which is dozy, hammer, spinning tops. Then you have two candle patterns. Tell me the two candle patterns. Yes, very good, Amarjeet. Yes, engulfing patterns and Rami patterns. Right. Tell me now three candle patterns. What are three candle patterns? Yes, evening star. Yes, star formation. And now tell me the multiple candle pattern. What are multiple candle patterns? What are multiple candle patterns? Where you see all those candles in a different pattern? Yes, flag could be one answer. Head and shoulders, cup and handle, double bottom, double top, yes. Flag, double tops, and double bottoms. Or it could be triple tops and the triple bottom or anything, right? So this is all about this. Now let's go to the terminal and analyze those things, right? So this is Orient Light. So I'll just simply go to any script. I'm just going with the random, say with the ACC only, which is just first on this list. So here is this. I'll just remove all my things here first. I have to remove a lot actually. So remove all. I'll go to the study manager, and so that we can simply have. By the way, from last 3 days, when people are losing a lot of money in our trading room, we are getting money consistently, right? So you see, when this everybody is in chaos, we are making profits. So that's what we need to do, being as a professional, right? So what actually the thing is, because if you see from 9,800 to 10,200, it will take approximately 2 months for Nifty to reach there, right? And the people who didn't realize that that's it's a top point, or it's where they're gonna reverse, or they don't see how where the market is going, they lost all of their 2 months money in just 3-4 trading sessions, right? So that's a person need to understand. If you know the limitation of the market, and accordingly you can trade a lot of market, but eventually you need to trade it mechanically. That's what we do actually, right? So another important thing which I would like to tell you now, which is uh, a bit misunderstood concept, is in last week we have seen this 50 period EMA, but there is also one thing which is called this 200 SMA, simple moving average. So I'll just simply plot this simple moving average first, and I could call this go to the parameters, and here I make it simple 200 day EMA, which is this. This is a very important average to have in all of your trading system, because this gives you a perspective in the market. Whatever you learn, whatever you understand, if you don't have the perspective to see what and how this is going to be, you will be somehow not getting the real picture. So this is a very good indicator to have. Like in this case, in our ACC, this is our example. Whenever the price is above 200 moving average, you just need to make a long trend, and also needs to see its overextension in the past. Its overextension in the past is roughly around this width. So similarly, your profit target should also be somewhere here. And then you see where what kind of patterns it's forming, and accordingly you will go for your trades. So let's see a few patterns into this. This is the daily chart of the ACC, right? And I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you tell me what it is actually, right? It's more or less reflecting the Nifty chart. So, but before doing this, we also needs to make sure that we gonna do all those level trading, huh? So we need to mark our levels first. So looking at this, if I have to mark my levels, because as you understand, you have to trade amongst the levels, so your level should be there. In this case, this is the resistance band of the ACC. And you see, whenever the price has come on to this level, right? So here the price has reaction. First top, second top, third top, and then it has a breakout from here. And then it moves till here. And from here, it has found another supply zone, right? So we have another supply zone also, or the resistance zone, which is this one. So these are the most significant supply or the resistance zone in the ACC. Now let's go and have a look onto the support zone also. So this is the support zone of the ACC, right? This one. It also have another support here as well, right? So now what happens actually? We have just moved to 1 year back, 2016. So for my latest frame of reference, I have these four levels, right? So I know this is a very good support level here, and if it breaks, it has another good support level here. It also have a smart support level here as well, right? So this is the kind of thing that you needs to do first on your any of the particular script. You should know some of your main levels, and all the candlestick patterns, if they form in the levels or near to the levels, then only they have a significance, right? Because if anything, like if we say here, this is also the spinning top, this is also dozy, this is also a dozy, but they don't have any significance because they are not at certain kind of levels, right? This is just a simple sideways market. But similarly, if you see here, if you see on your levels, you have a multiple dozy formation. So there it has a very good significance. And whenever the price afterwards, if it comes here again to its resistance zone, and you have the reversal pattern somewhere here, then they have the significance. Similarly, if you have some kind of patterns near your support area, then they have a much significance, right? So the, and let's see another thing, say bhel. Let's see bhel here. You see, if I have to mark my levels on the bhel, then you see how the price has reacted from here, because it has a very good resistance zone here. So price has dropped from here, but here some mutual fund has a strong buy. But as soon as the price reached to this level, it reacted and it goes down, right? And similarly, if I plot my levels here, I have a good resistance level here. I have a good demand level here. I also have a very good demand level here, which it actually has broken, but it's I needs to take care of, right? So these this is roughly my levels, more or less levels, where I do have a demand at in between 76 to 79, then another demand I have from 85 to 87, and a very good resistance zone I have at 115 to 120. So these are my levels, and I am gonna see all my patterns, all my trades, and everything in these perspective, right? Let's see something else. Let's see, say, another is BPCL. So let's see BPCL, how this BPCL reacts, right? So here in the BPCL, definitely I have a very good resistance zone here. Why I'm concentrating on the recent data? Because that is going to be our fresh levels. But we also needs to see on the back if it could find some of the very great levels. So this is my resistance zone, and this is in this area. This is my a very good demand zone. Similarly, I have few demand zones here. This is going to be the second demand zone, and similarly I could also have a resistance zone which is here, which it has broken, but it has a practical significance in the past. So that's how I have my levels for the BPCL, right? So I'll trade and make sure where my price is near to which corresponding level, and what the kind of information or what the kind of structures which are forming in that way, and accordingly I'll go long and short. Let's see some other thing, say Cipla. So in Cipla, you see you have a very good demand zone somewhere here, and a very good supply zone, which is this one. So this is pretty simple. This is my levels of Cipla trading. I have my this support band, and I have my this resistance band. So what I am near to my resistance band, so I'll look for short opportunities. And whenever I'll find my price close to 500 level, then I'll always wait for the long opportunities, right? So that's how you're gonna see and decide how and what you're gonna do. Say, see our last one, HCL Tech. It is more or less following the same pattern. Here I have, this is my this resistance band, and this is my typical demand zone. And I also have a small demand zone here as well. Right. So this is how I wish to trade HCL. You see, whenever the price has go to this level, it always have a tendency to move back to its demand level. Then it moves up, and accordingly it moves down. And here you see another thing. Here you are in the middle of that particular level. So if you are a, an aggressive trader, then only you should take a trade here with a proper stop loss. And if you are a conservative trader, wait for these patterns to reach onto your levels, then you trade them accordingly, right? So this is how you're gonna do and try to find out those levels. And let's see another thing, say SDFC. And in SDFC, you see it's on a regular bull trend, and you see it has a support of the 200 SMA, and also the same thing with this. Okay, so you're gonna see the Yes Bank. Okay, let's create a new market watch. I'm gonna give you lessons on this Orient Light also, how you're gonna use that. It's very simple and very easy to use, especially for the users, right? So Yes Bank, and say we see Yes Bank. So this is where the Yes Bank is, right? It has a very good resistance band from here till here. This one, it has a split now, so that's why the chart is not reflecting its original 1700 or 1800 price, but anyways, so that is more or less the level. It has tried to break this level. It has a false breakout, but eventually it's correcting now. And it has a very small demand zone also here, and afterwards it has a very good demand zone here, right? So this is the more or less for the Yes Bank for next 6 months. And similarly, you can go back, but for me, these are my good levels. So whenever I find Yes Bank something around 345, I should go long with my proper stop loss at 340 or somewhere. And whenever I find Yes Bank actually in this range, in between 315 to 320, then I'm definitely going to be long on the Yes Bank. And if I'll find Yes Bank over here, then absolutely it's a long trade. On the other hand, if the say Yes Bank reacted from here and it has a breakout from here, which is something around 370 level, then I'll wait for a confirmation of the breakout. And then once it retraces and touches this level again and again moves up, then I'll take a long trade from here. But otherwise, I'll be conscious if Riaz Bank breaks this level of a band between 345 and 340, the immediate target would be 320. So if this breaks this level, then I have at least 30 to 40 points downside in the Yes Bank in this current scenario. And if it moves up, then it has a very good strong resistance zone over here as well. So that's how I'll trade the Yes Bank with all my these levels. I'll also put some other studies like RSI and all those things, but this is a frame of work how I should trade with the Yes Bank. Is it okay with Satya, this one? Okay, so let's go to, I'll show you some more websites, and that's how you try to identify, because you see now this dozy, this has a significance because it's in the resistance zone. So whenever you have these kind of actually in that level or the zones, then you should be very careful on this. So let's see anything else, say ONGC, which is going to be sideways from a couple of time, and you see how this ONGC is reacting. It's below its 200-day SMA. So whenever the price it, and you know this 200 SMA, it's also a level. It acts a very good support and it also acts a very good resistance. So this 200 SMA, it's also one of your level. It gives you perspective where to trade. So in this case, because it's more or less sideways in nature, but if I'm trying to find out, then I have very small demand zone here of the ONGC. So, and you see it touches one, it moves up, then it touches one, remains sideways, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it touches and reacting from here. So this is a very good. But on the contrary, it also has a very good sell zone also here. And after that, it also has a very good sell zone here, right? So, and after that, it's also have a very good sell zone here. So this is my resistance zone, or my supply zone, or any accumulation or the distribution zone, whatever you call it. And immediately, if I'll go down, then I have a support band, which is here. I also have a support which is somewhere here, right? So these are all my levels to trade in ONGC, and that's how I'll see the price where it is and trade accordingly with all those candlesticks patterns which we have learned so far: single candle, double candle, triple candle, or multiple candle patterns. Let me show you some of the important websites. There is a one website which is called, which I have also described in the course. It's Top Stock Research. So this is a very good website, topstockresearch.com, where you have a detailed technical analysis of stocks with the Indian stock market. Here you see you have different chart patterns. So let's see first. Say I'm interested in double bottom pattern. So if I click on this screener, so it gives me the scripts which are on a short term double bottom, medium term double bottom, or the long term double bottom. And then I have to see where they actually have this kind of double bottom or not on my terminal. Similarly, you have this bullish candlestick pattern, say bullish engulfing, bullish harami, bullish morning star, or the bullish piercing line. So I would like to see which are the stocks which are forming this bullish engulfing pattern. So these are the stocks which are forming bullish engulfing pattern. So we had a very good correction. So I expect the market to have a recovery of at least 50 to 100 points from here, and then afterwards it will decide. So I'm not short from now on the market, but I have a bearish view with caution, right? And I'm expecting a rally of 50 to 100 points, which may be in coming weeks, right? Coming next week, actually. So it says bullish engulfing in Cipla. So let's have a look. We go to our market watch list, and I would like to add Cipla. So I add Cipla, and I see whether it has a bullish engulfing. So you see, we have done the Cipla leveling as well. You see, do you see in Cipla there is a bullish engulfing? Answer me, guys. Right? It is there. There is a bullish engulfing in Cipla, right? So what could be Cipla trade for you? It would be a long trade, right? So let's see in some other. So this is for now. Let's see this evening star is what kind of stocks they are forming this evening star pattern. So I couldn't find. I'm just looking for the companies whom I knew, right? I'm not going for any other thing, but say Sanofi India, and we see whether it has an evening star formation or not. So I go to my market watch and I add Sanofi, Sanofi, and I'll see how it looks. So do we have an evening star formation in Sanofi? Does this characterize as an evening star formation? Tell me. No, yes. So because it needs to have a gap down opening here, right? So, you can have an idea from this, but don't straight away go on to the idea supplied by any website. They just give you a reference, but then you can check. Like in Cipla case, it was perfectly fine, but not in the case of Sanofi, right? So that you should always take care of and bear in mind. Now let's see some other thing. And here actually the very nice thing which I see here, like you can have trends also. You can have the moving average crossover also, like where you have this exponential moving average crossover or the simple moving crossover. So if I go for exponential, so here you have where 3-day 3-day EMA crosses above 13, below 13, 5-day, and a 20 EMA. So this also gives you a very good perspective if you are trading on the moving average crossover. So that gives you straight away some of the stocks, all the companies where you can actually say, here in this case, it shows to me 5-day EMA cross below 20-day EMA in TCS. So let's see in TCS. I'll just go to my market watch and let's see what it says. So I enter TCS here. So I go onto the chart of the TCS here, right? And here, uh, yes, yes, the technical filtering, it's where you use all those indicators. And in eye charts. And here you in top stock research, you can also do filtering through their candlesticks pattern. So basically you needs to use both, right? And then try to see which one works best for you. And I use both actually for my candlestick patterns, and I also use eye charts. I use these two websites very heavily for all my analysis. So let's see, uh, and add average 5 exponential, add, and then I again add average 20 exponential, add. So it says 5-day EMA closes below 20-day EMA. Here they converged, but they haven't closed. So I still need the confirmation from tomorrow's candle that whether it has a close or not, right? So that's how you need to check, right? And so this is in terms of the moving averages. You can also see here this overbought and oversold. Like here you have this overbought by RSI, overbought by oversold by RSI, overbought by stochastic, oversold by slow stochastic, oversold by Williams and SR. So these are the things you can also have a look, like say oversold by RSI if I click here. And here it gives me a lot of companies like Castrol India, it's oversold. So let me check. I go to my terminal here and I'll add Castrol, and I'll have a look this Castrol, and I can go to my study manager and plot RSI, relative strength index. So here, if I could see the value of the RSI, and the value of the RSI here is still 31. So it is okay, but still not. But anyways, if I could see this on say hourly chart, if I would like to see it in a bit more detail, then its value is something around 34, right? So this is okay for me. So this is a confirmation, right, that it is approaching that. But always remember that in this way, the RSI or the CCI, the price can remain in this zone for a very significant period. So wait for the confirmation and then only could take a trade. But from here, it's looks okay to me that RSI it's in oversold region, and whenever RSI has moved into this region, like here in this case, it's more or less the same. Then it has an upside, right? So this is how you're gonna make use of this. It's you get the average value of the RSI more or less. Both lines can actually gives you more or less the same. It's just some kind of variance which is over there. So, but as for the color is concerned, follow the green one because it is more price sensitive, and this red one is smooth because it's a multiplier. So follow the green one, which gives you the most significant reading, right? Okay, so let's go back to where we are. So this is another thing which you, and also you can have the candlesticks. You can have the summary. You can see the bullish candlestick pattern, bearish candles, weekly bearish, monthly bearish. So weekly patterns are also very nice patterns to have for swings or for the long term. So let's see weekly bullish candlestick pattern. So these are the stocks which are showing bullish candlestick patterns, bullish engulfing, bullish harami, bullish piercing. I don't use this piercing, but I use this bullish engulfing and the harami. So in Dabur India, it says weekly bullish engulfing. So let's see and have a look on the Dabur India. So I remove this RSI and I go to my this, and I would like to see in NSC only Dabur. So if I click on the Dabur, here I'm on this daily chart of the Dabur. I'll just put W, and I'm on the weekly chart of the Dabur. So it tells me that there is a bullish engulfing, but that doesn't look very much convincingly me that there is a bullish engulfing. Yes, there is, but not a very nice pattern which I would like to have. So I'm not gonna go with this because what is bullish engulfing pattern for me? It's like this pattern or like this pattern. And you see what happens once you have this. Price goes up, has a bit down, but ultimately it moves up, right? And similarly here you see you have this bearish engulfing here, and the price has moved down. So here I am not very much convinced with this. Let's see another thing, which is Gillette India. So I'll just simply would like to see now the Gillette India. Gillette as an equity, and like to see what this Gillette is. Yes, this is a very good bullish engulfing pattern for me. You see here the whole body is very well submerged between the body of this green candle, and also the wicks are also inside the wicks of this candle, right? So this is a very good bullish engulfing in Gillette, right? So that's how you get your ideas from the eye charts or from the top stock research, and then accordingly you check them onto your system in your terminal, which is Orient Light here, confirm, and then only take a trade. And always remember, you gonna first draw all of your levels like what we do here, like what we do here for Castrol. And so you should have in weekly, in daily. Okay, we for Cipla, I haven't saved those levels, but you will have those, right? So once you save on those levels. So here, that's how you do things. And like in Yes Bank, I saved those levels, so here they are. So accordingly, you do your studies and save those levels. So whenever you click on those scripts, you have your levels, you have your tools, you have a very good quick start to move forward and take a trade, right? So this is one of the thing. And I also so this is topstockresearch.com. There is another site which is called Big Pesa. That is also a good site to have, but this top stock research is a very nice one. But anyways, if you have time, then actually you can have to look on this bigpesa.com, where they also have the screener where you can actually go and select the exchanges, the index, new high, price action, gap up, gap down, plus DI or the minus DI crossover in the stochastic. If you want to see any EMA crossover, you can also have a look on the EMA crossover. Volume action, if you want to see the ADX value of it, whose ADX value is above 30 or below 30. Accordingly, 14 RSI also, which is above 50 or below 50, where it's the PCR, whether the price has closed above PCR or the price have closed below PCR, which are the scripts which are closing above Bollinger Band, or which are the script which are closing below the lower Bollinger Band. So this is also a very good screener to have, which is bigpasa.com. So I want every one of you to have a look onto this screener as well, right? And apart from that, I think there is one site which is called Candlestick Genius. If I could recollect it, uh, let me check it first. Candlesticks Genius. Yeah. So this is also a good one. Candlestick Genius, where you can also get some more information about the candlesticks, like the candlesticks patterns, and the pivots. What kind of top 10 candlestick patterns? What are those? And here you can have the description. What are those and how they form? So this is also one of the good website to go for your any candlestick needs, right? So this is more or less from my side today, and I hope this session has been useful to you. Basically, get you a refresher about your candlesticks, how to analyze them, how to visualize them, and how you're gonna take an important step once they are in that particular level, right? So, guys, if you have any question, you can ask me now. I'm done for this topic. Yeah, so intraday, those scripts will do the same. So in intraday, you can't have that view, because if you are shorting Yes Bank, then you must have some reasons why you have shorted Yes Bank with any indicators or anything. But as you see, the whole market, it's a movement and then it becomes positive. So definitely your risk, your stop loss it's gonna hit. But that's how it solves its purpose, right? Yeah, and because that's fine, because in intraday, you needs to trade with your stop loss and with your logic. You look, in intraday the price actions doesn't have a logic. In intraday the price runs purely on the emotions, right? So that's why it's very important to have your stop loss at a logical location. So that's you didn't continue with the uh, some kind of emotional mood. And if you are doing the swing trading, then you must have this ROR of 1 is to 3, and there should be a logic behind that, and accordingly your stop loss should be wide for that aspect. So there is a two different kind of trading, that in intraday sometimes you have profits and sometimes you have the losses. But beware, in intraday a lot of money can be made, and in swing also a lot of money can be made, but all with your risk management and the position sizing in place. Because in intraday all the reactions are emotional in nature. If you try to find out a logical reasoning in an intraday atmosphere, that would be not good. There is no logic in intraday trading. In intraday trading, it's all your skills, and intraday trading is the most difficult part of trading to master. So that's also one of the case, because you need to try to see the overall sentiment of the market, because your trade on an intraday basis is actually work on the overall sentiment of the market. If the overall sentiment of the market is bullish, no short trade will work. And if the overall sentiment trend of the market is bearish, no long trade will work. So in intraday, the most important thing, rather than finding out any particular script whether short or long, it is very important try to find out the pulse of the market at that point of time, where the market could go, where our index could go, and accordingly you have to trade along with the direction of the index. Then you have a very high chance of success during the intraday or on your swing trading, right? Yes, you see, in our screen we have a pop-up of our crude oil things, like crude oil. So that's what I like about this, because in this, similarly, you can trade anything, and they give some calls, but those are good ones. But we are not believing in any kind of calls. So as we said, from all those websites, from all our knowledge, we get a kind of concept, but we analyze that particular concept into our own frame of reference, and then afterwards we are going to take any particular trade, right? Is there anything else, guys? Okay, so I hope this session is useful to you, and we again meet on next week, where I'll again come with some of advanced thing, or any other things which we have left out, right? So have a good night, and have a nice weekend ahead, and see you all next week, right? Have a good night.